everybody. This is Justin Recla, your host of Incorporating SuperPowers. And my guest today has real world superpowers, folks. At 89 years of age, she set a world record for the oldest person to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And she not only did it with just, as a matter of fact, from what I know, she did it with broken ribs, okay, along the way, because she's got quite the story. She actually, at 89, climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, had 2 broken ribs, and she did it all for a very, very exciting cause. My guest today is Anne Lorimor, the world record holder for the oldest person who climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. Anne, welcome to the show.
Sorry?
I said, welcome to the show, Anne.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome. Well, this is super exciting. You have an organization that you've been working diligently on for quite some time, and it's a organization called Creating Exciting Futures. And I know this is what, when you did your setting climb, it was to support your organization. Can you tell us a little bit more about Creating Exciting Futures?
I'd love to. My idea is that a lot of kids from low-income families don't get the kind of opportunities that kids normally do. They don't know what's available. Some of them feel stuck without ever knowing their options. So what we want to do is show them their options and give them the tools to live the kind of lives they love and reach their full potential, and then stress giving back.
Yeah, this is such an exciting project. And we met, I don't know, it was probably 7-8 years ago at CEO Space. And one of the just phenomenal opportunities that CEO Space offers is a teen program. Can you share with us what you do with the teens in the program and what that all entails for them?
What I do is offer scholarships for kids to go to this Teen Feast program. It's a wonderful program. It gives them the chance to learn about networking and about brainstorming. They get lifetime membership in the parent organization. It can only be done through a member, so I offer something that some other charitable organizations don't offer. And what I give them is their lodging and their transportation, meals with faculty who are there, and then, of course, the lifetime membership. And if you look on my website, creatingexcitingfutures.org, you'll see wonderful testimonials from them, what they got from it. And I'm just so pleased with the things that have happened.
Yeah, this is, speaking from experience, folks, we raised our daughter at CEO Space in that environment. And a lot of you that watch our shows, watch the network, and watching Neva's career evolve, you often wonder, how did she get the prowess for business and entrepreneurship? And that was because of the teen program at CEO Space. She's hasn't always been a teen. She's just now a tweener, but by being there with the teens, engaging with them during meal tables, even when she was young, is something that was remarkable. It's really shaped her up. I think it's super important, and that what you're doing and the work that you're bringing in, and especially to underprivileged kids, giving them something that they may not normally see by presenting them with, hey, you have an idea, you can be your own boss, you can be a business owner. How much importance does breaking out of that mindset, how much struggle do you see with the kids? That are they resistant to it, or do they accept it with grace?
The ones that I've had were recommended by people in the community who work with that kind of child, and they really are accepting. I'm just amazed at how much they accept. People were very proud of them, the last group I took, because they just got right into it and played full out, as they say. And as I said, I particularly like to deal with foster, homeless, and orphan children, because I think they have special challenges, and I want them to have the same opportunity as other kids.
Yeah, that's such a looked over aspect of, when talking to kids. A lot of times you see organizations that are focused on making sure they get the right meal or stay in school and whatnot. And I love what you do is that you're adding a whole new aspect that, because of circumstances, they may never have you've gotten introduced to. This is super, super exciting stuff. So tell me, how many people are you taking? You said 6, right? You're taking
I'd
6.
like to take 6 in July.
This is fantastic. So talk to me a little bit more about how the program works. How are kids able to come into the program, and how does the organization raise funds to bring them in?
I volunteer with Family Promise, and they are a transitional homeless project. People are going along and maybe one loses their job or there's a catastrophic illness and suddenly they're out in the street. So this program houses them in various churches a week at a time for a while, gives them a telephone number and used to access to a computer and an email so they can get a job. It's a lot easier than saying, hey, I'm living out under the third tree at the edge of town. So it helps a lot. There's about an 85% success rate there. Well, several of the kids that I've given scholarships to came from the year-long after program. I really had close connections with the gal that headed that program, and she could see the value, and she'd recommended them, and they did very, very well indeed. And I'm going to have to reset all the connections because she moved on, and I met one, and then she moved on. So it's hard work. Millet House in Mesa offers an artist venue for people that are talented but don't have the money to display their art. And she also offers a blending library for the whole community. So she's recommended several kids that have gone. And this July, I'm supposed to have a Yaqui medicine man son. And I'm really excited about that because I do like diversity. In the last group I took, there was a Hispanic and a Polish American and a couple of Black Americans and, one other thing, also different, whatever. And so all of them had brought something to it that was different.
I know that's I've been to a couple of your meetings and seen and interacted with the kids, and the diversity is huge. The amount of opportunity that you're creating across the board is super, super important. This is all great stuff, and I want to dive into this a little bit more, and I want to learn more about your walk and how you, at 89 years old, set a world record. So. And where can our listeners go find you before we start diving into the walk?
If they go to creatingexcitingfutures.org, tells about the climb, it tells about the cause, and there are testimonials from some of the kids.
Oh, this is super fantastic, folks. Go check it out. Stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to dive more into the backstory behind the broken ribs and learn more about what the walk raised and what it did for the organization. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Incorporating SuperPowers. I'm your host, Justin Recla, and we've been talking to Anne Lorimor. Anne is the world record holder for the oldest person to ever climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And folks, she did it with 2 broken ribs. So
I correct you, actually 3.
3 broken ribs. Okay, see, so don't mess with Anne. Okay, she is a tough cookie. So Anne, 1, the broken ribs. How did you break 3 ribs on the climb? What happened?
I didn't break them on the climb. That was amusing because I was so careful before I left this country to say, I'm not doing anything. I was not jumping out of any airplanes or doing anything that could hurt me because I said I wouldn't have time to heal. I want to be in perfect shape to climb that mountain. Well, we did go on a safari the week before because I thought it would be good to get a little acclimatization at higher altitude. Well, I went to this tent camp and it had rained. That's probably the only time in a month or two. And the little mat they had, a rubber mat, just slipped right off the steps, and I went down. And I knew I was hurting like everything, but I didn't know, of course, that they were broken until I got home.
Wow. So, folks, I don't care what your excuse is. Anne's 89 years old, just set a world's record with 3 broken ribs. That's hardcore, folks. She's invited me to go hiking with her, right? I'm obviously not a hiker. I couldn't keep up with her. I don't think there's a lot of people that can keep up with her, let alone to do such at 89 years old. This is absolutely amazing. Anne has got so much energy. Go check a look at her site and take a look at what she's doing. And what did the walk do? What was the purpose of the walk, and what was the outcome of the adventure?
The purpose was to get attention and contributions for the fund. And I got a lot of attention, and the contributions we're still working on, because it'll take me something like about, I think, $18,000 to take those 6 kids over to CEO space. And I really want to do it. If I get them signed up and I don't have enough money, it'd be absolutely devastating. So I really have to work on that. And we are doing local hikes around Phoenix. And Justin, I never said I was setting any speed records. All I was trying for was an age record, which I made. But in the local area, we're doing easy to moderate hikes. We're not trying to strain anybody, but it keeps us in front of the public and lets people know and lets them contribute some more and that sort of thing.
Yeah, folks, and they meet every Sunday. If you're local to Phoenix, get on the website, get the information to go join and her cause. It is such a worthwhile mission. I've seen the transformation and the impact that Anne's mission has and her organization has by taking kids to CEO space and opening up new opportunities. I remember some of the kids that Anne took a couple years ago, as they got older in high school, started their own food truck. And they were going to do their own food truck business together. And this is something that, was made possible because Anne got them to the event, got them the training, got them thinking differently, got them thinking outside the box, and helping them see that they have ownership of their own, their own ability to create opportunities in their life. And this is just such a fun backstory. I mean, I saw the videos of you all over the news. What was it like to climb Kilimanjaro?
I think it was the most challenging thing I've done up to this point. The broken ribs certainly added to it, but it had its wonderful moments. I remember the stars down around my ears. They're the most brilliant stars I've ever seen. I just loved it. And of course, we could see the Southern Cross, which was special. You don't see it from this hemisphere. And that was a lovely thing. I do want to make one tiny correction. Our local hiking group was only doing it once a month. I hike every day, but they hiked with me once a month.
That's absolutely fantastic. It's the fact that, well, let me go back to here. If I remember correctly, that's not the first time you climbed Kilimanjaro, right?
You're correct. I climbed it.
It's not the first time you set a world record, correct?
In 2015, I was the oldest woman to climb it, but it only lasted 4 months. So I decided I'd do it again. And it was for the cause the first time, and it is again for the second time. But then, just a year ago, which was when I planned to do it in 3 years, a man did it who was just a little older than I would have been at that time. I don't want just, be the oldest woman. I want to be the oldest person. We put it off 1 more year. And I said, I won't do it anymore. I mean, I'd probably go beyond what I'm capable of, but I did, and nobody has beat me at this point.
That's fantastic. I have a feeling that record is going to last quite a while. That's quite the feat. Kilimanjaro is not a hill. And that does take some endurance to get up there, regardless of what age you are.
19,341 feet. It's the highest mountain in Africa and the tallest freestanding mountain in the world.
This is, folks, if you're not getting the gist of the energy and just amazingness that is Anne, I highly recommend that you reach out and connect with her. Her cause is really, really powerful. And, that's what we're here to do is we're help to highlight those that are having an impact on the world and doing business, not only different, but better. And what are your goals for moving forward? You've set 2 world records. You're now the oldest person to climb Kilimanjaro. What's next?
I think what you said is important, and the fact that I climbed, but I'm not a professional climber. I want that obvious. but I've always loved climbing. So I tried to combine two things that I love most, children and the cause and my climbing. And what I have in my next, I want to do other things to help the kids. We've had already some youth Toastmaster groups, because my feeling is if you can express yourself comfortably and well, no matter what you go into, it's going to help you. And I saw marvelous progress in the kids during that time. One little kid came in and first the youth had, he couldn't talk a minute. At the end, he stood right there and he gave a 5-minute speech wonderfully. They got to handle the meetings themselves. So that's one of our lovely projects. I'm concerned with financial literacy. And I do have a bank that lets the kids come in at a very low balance and no fee. And that'll help them, because I tell them they have to have $200 for personal expenses to go with me. That goes for the directory that they get and for their own meals and other things outside of what I provide for them. And I'm really so happy with the results we've had so far.
It's such an amazing opportunity that you've created for so many young people. How many total in the years that you've been doing, how many kids so far have you taken to this business event?
So far, I've taken only 10. Now, that doesn't make me look very great beside Child Help, which has 10.5 million kids in 60 years. But the point is, these kids hopefully are going to be taught to spread it on. You said something earlier that people focus on the basics. Kids have to have food, clothing, and shelter. I understand that, but I go beyond that. I want to get them so that they're really contributing members of society who make a difference. And then on the other end, I have no hesitation at all about going to the organizations that do supply that stuff for the kids that I meet on my own course. We all work together, and I think we help each other.
It's amazing. I mean, that's the power of collaboration and the power of working together in synergy with others. And that's something that's taught at CEO Space, especially during the Teen Feast. It is such a different mindset, and you've been able to harness that and use it for good and helping empower underprivileged kids. And this is such a worthy cause. Where can officers go to find more information about you?
To creatingexcitingfutures.org. We also have a Facebook page of the same name, and it runs quite a lot of stuff. So those are good places to go. They've got also names in there to write for email for further information if they want.
Fantastic, folks. Take a look. Give a shout out to Anne Lorimor. She's the world record holder, the most person to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And as always, it's a pleasure to connect with you again, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Very great pleasure to be with you, Justin.
Folks, go out there, create your own exciting future by incorporating your own superpowers. Take care.